Action Comics 968, Dan Jurgens writing and Taylor Kirkham on art. And this sort of picks up where the last one left off, where the Godslayer and his crony have shown up to take in Lex, and Superman's fighting him, and Fate Clark, or Clark 2.0, whatever you want to call him, and Lois are hanging around. And John's up in one of the buildings. He's been dropped off because Superman obviously was with him. They were in the Amazon or whatever, looking at the building. And yeah, we get a bit of comedy at the start with the family who are taking this helicopter flight because they want to see a super and they don't get to.
Yeah, but they're the worst of like I've seen those people in real life, and so it's good to know that they exist in the DCU too.
Oh yeah.
So the entitled, I paid for it, and the best part is when the fight starts and Superman and the crony, which I forget his name, it's something real weird like Courage or along those lines.
Scourge the Impaler or something stupid like that.
Yeah. They destroy the helicopter. I think I was like, oh no, my chopper. And I read it as kind of like
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Sarcastic.
Oh no. Okay.
Well, not chopper, but
my chopper!
Kind of, but yeah, it's the kid's crying because he didn't see any Superman. And the guy's like, fix it. So.
See, you make fun of them, Matt, but you're so this kid. If Metropolis was real and you went there and you didn't get to see Superman, you'd be crying the entire way home, and you know it.
Of course.
Yeah. So yeah, we have this fight, and they sort of capture Lex, and I think it is mostly an action issue, and that's fine. It's Action Comics. It should be.
Yeah.
But we get a little bit more of this glimpse of the future. They explain it to Superman. We even get John crashing into the crony guy. With a truck, and he's like, "It's a good job you showed me how to drive the tractor, ain't it, Dad?" Yeah. So
John being John, which is awesome.
So some good fun in there. Lois is trying to figure things out. The Godslayer shows Superman this vision of the future, but of course, Superman being Superman is like, no, this is the future. He doesn't necessarily have to be. And as much as it's Lex Luthor, as much as I assume he's going to be the scourge of humanity, I have to protect him in this sense. But I think the biggest thing is the ending and how the Godslayer is going to execute Lex, but he doesn't because he notices a kid's watching. He notices John is watching from the other roof and says, no, we're not going to do this here. We're going to take him away, through our portal, boom tube, whatever they're using to get around, and doesn't do so. And the other thing that's important to note is that Fate Clark notices John. And even because Lois says something about John, and Clark thinks it's directed at him, and realizes, wait a minute, that wasn't to me, and he notices John over there. So, yeah.
Well, it's kind of like he just ends up seeing like the tatters at the cape, So Clark's gonna start putting things together. Clark 2.0. That is.
But Clark 2.0 is clearly slightly on the darker side of things, because at the end he's like, well, if killing Lex saves all these lives in the future, he should probably die. He's all for it.
Yeah, but that's the future, is that the future can never be concrete, because it's the future. It's based off what's going to happen. And it kind of, there was this whole big, long story at the other company this year that is around these same themes.
Really?
And it kind of, yeah.
Is that what Civil War 2 is about?
Yeah, that's what Civil War 2 is about. That if someone tells you this is going to happen in the future, do you stop them? It's Minority Report. Do you stop them before it happens and take out the free will? But I kind of just feel like turning it into the smaller story and making it about Lex Luthor and not having such the high stakes to the rest of the world, it drives the point home a little more. Because everyone knows Lex Luthor.
Yeah, well, I think that makes it more interesting because he is Lex, and because we always think of him as being evil. So the idea that someone comes and says, no, he's going to end up causing the apocalypse, we're like, yeah, I can buy that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's Lex.
Versus, if it was Superman that this was happening to, then it kind of gets drawn out, I think, a little more. And the intent's a little different. But I also like that...
Well, I just want to say, with Lex, you get to the point quicker that, he possibly could do this, and with Lex, we immediately believe that he can, because he's Lex Luthor. But that kind of drives the whole point of Superman standing his ground and saying, no, the future's not set. There is no fate but what we make. That's a Terminator reference.
Of course it is. But see, that's what gets me, though, is that we saw throughout Darkseid War that Lex was being primed to take over. Like that his entire
Yeah.
arc during that, which our Superman didn't see because he wasn't there for that.
Yeah.
You know, so I also think that's a nice little wrinkle. But what I also liked was Lex's his swaggering, because I don't think anybody quite doesn't write Lex quite as well as Jurgens, where he just is that, he's on his knees, the dude's gonna chop off his head, and he just activates a force field, and he's like, "Oh, you were so close, but you forget I'm Lex Luthor," and even in the face of an imminent execution, he's finding his way out. And in fact, if it's not for Superman and Lois and Clark, he's probably gotten away, But it's them that bring it in. So yeah, another, again, like we said about Detective, it was a solid issue, but it wasn't like outstanding.
Yeah, it wasn't a standout. I like having Tyler Kirkham back on art. He's probably one of the better artists on Action that's sort of rotating through right now.
Yeah.
When I seen the name, I was like, oh, him again. And it's cool. It's a good book. It's a good looking book. For the most part. So, there's not a whole lot much more to say. Mostly action, fun moments with John, as we said, and we had those sort of bigger plot points and character beats, and just an inkling of the type of person the Godslayer is, because he won't do it in front of John. Like, he makes the choice, no. Like, he needs to die, but we're doing it elsewhere.
Yeah, like, he is a hero. You fully believe he's doing this to save people, not just because he has a vendetta against Luthor.
Yeah, it's not personal, no.
Right.
It's almost more robotic, it's logical, it's without feeling,